Hey guys.
Alright folks, we're here to check out a video song from our good friends in More Subita. The name of the song is Regenerate. I believe this is the second single that they've released, but you know, we don't have time to get to every fucking single that everybody does. So I apologize to Mika, I apologize, but hey, you know, better late than never. At least we're checking this one out because, you know, I love you. You're my brother from another Finnish mother. And yeah, they have an album coming out on Out of Line Music sometime soon, I hope. I'm sure you can find out in their social media, pre-order links, all of that good shit.
Yeah.
It's on their socials. So we're here to check out this video, this song. Are you ready for some more Subita?
Of course.
All right, perfect. That's the answer I wanted. Wow, this is me after Taco Bell. More in the fetal position, but close. Do you want to go first?
Well, you know how you said that's you on after eating Taco Bell?
Yeah, I'm like laying down like that.
That's me after
Massive shit.
I was gonna say that's me after the onslaught of the Taco Bell shits, and I'm in my bed and I think I'm safe. Like I'm lying down, my ass hurts. I feel like I've just been assaulted, and I'm lying down on my bed and I'm like right about to drift to sleep, and then my eye opens as
you get
Godzilla himself.
The Morse code of the shits comes through. Like
yeah, and even World War II vets can hear the shit that's about to happen.
Yeah, it's an SOS.
It's an SOS, yeah. And then I go for round 2, and then him in the water, like with the, you know how his hair was all wet and stuff? That's me after.
Sweating.
That's me after the redemption
shit sweats?
shit. Yeah.
The shit sweats. Fuck, I hate those.
Those are the type of you gotta take off every piece of clothing, because it just feels like you're
unless you're in a funeral home parking lot.
Too starchy.
Then you can't.
Then you can't, but you can't have Taco Bell shit.
Because one thing is to get arrested for taking a shit in a public parking lot. The other thing is taking a shit while naked. I mean, then it's just like you adding insult into injury.
I saw a guy take a shit downtown Toronto.
Sometimes you just gotta go.
I was going to Chinatown. Hold on. I want to say I was going to Chinatown with a couple friends, and all I see is this guy. It was right next to the subway, and I thought he was taking a shit into the subway, like when people are walking, but he wasn't. And he
classy
pulled down his pants, and he looked at it, and then he went next to the trash can and just popped a squat. And he took off his pants, took off everything just to take a shit. Listen,
we live in a civilized world, but I think we're not quite as...
You can't say that with a straight face after I just said that I saw a man naked.
Okay, what I'm saying is we live in a civilized world, but I think we're a little bit far from being completely civilized, because I grew up in Portugal and we had public toilets. Like, you know, there was places where you could go take a shit. You didn't have to go into like a restaurant or a coffee shop, buy a fucking donut just to have a reason to go take a shit. No, there were
technically that donut is also
it helps smooth things over. But what I'm saying is, like, there was places where you could go publicly. I mean, they were not very clean, obviously, but at least there were options.
They were the last solution.
But they were
they were a solution.
They were the final solution.
They were the
final solution. But you know what I'm saying? But there were places. But at home we had bidets. There's no fucking bidets in North America. What kind of civilized world is this that we're living in, that there's not a decent place for you to either wash your feet
or wash
your ass after a nice fucking shit?
Well, you wash your feet in the bidet.
Yeah, you can also wash your feet when you come from the gym like you do with stinky feet. You can wash your feet in the bidet. It's multi-purpose.
Yeah, but definitely if I was using it to wash my ass, I would scrub it.
You can also wash your dick and stuff. You just, you can wash whatever you want in those...
Yeah, I know, but I feel like
why were we talking about this?
I feel like if I was washing my feet in a bidet, I would want to scrub it clean before I wash my feet in the bidet. Get all those ass
what the fuck, man? You rinse the fucking shit after you use... Anyhow.
Doesn't matter.
Anyhow.
It's still there.
Fucking moving on. All right. Before we talk about this
Phantom shit.
Before we talk about this song, I think that we already said enough about that. But anyways, before we talk about the song, let me just say, where the fuck did they find that VCR built into the TV thing? That thing is like from the early 90s. I remember when I was a kid...
Dude, I used to have one of those.
When I was a kid, I wanted to have one so bad. And my parents bought me one. And then, 1 month into owning it, I discovered that was a horrible idea. Because the VCR broke and then I lost my TV with it. Because to take it to the repair guy, they had to take the whole fucking thing. And if you have them separated, at least if one breaks, you still can watch TV. It was a horrible fucking purchase, a horrible fucking idea.
I had one of those, like the VCR in the TV, and then we got rid of it, and then I got a different box TV with the VCR separate. I remember that. Because when I saw the TV, I brought back memories.
I remember one time I had
glass cabinet.
I got a porno stuck in the VCR. Oh, fuck, man! There's no way I'm taking that shit to the repair guy with a video, and I manhandled that VCR like it was nobody's business. When I took it to the guy to repair, he's like, "What the fuck happened to this shit? There's like screws missing. There's all sorts of shit missing." Anyhow, long story.
This is not the only thing here that's screwed.
Hey, the VCR is the only thing that got screwed.
Exactly, that's what I said.
Yeah, let me tell you. Anyhow, this song. Finally, people are like, finally, these two douchebags have been talking about shits and porn. Now we're finally talking about the VCR. So, the VCR, the fucking song. Let's talk about the song here. Overall, what did you think?
Overall, I enjoyed it. It has a good feel to it. The song has a good momentum. The chorus is it's not catchy, but it's memorable. And the song overall, I enjoyed.
Am I the only guy who feels that more Subita from the first record to today, their sound has completely changed. Like if I play you their first album and I play you this song, you think that they're two different bands?
What hasn't changed though is that turquoise lighting and shit they use. I gotta say, now we're going off track again, but I wanted to say this. When I saw him on the floor and everything, fuck, the flooring, the black background, and that turquoise lighting, they always got that turquoise fucking lighting in their shit. It's gotta be
turquoise.
It's their signature color. I love my turquoise too. It's the signature color of more Subita, in my opinion.
Okay, but don't you agree with me in terms of their sound?
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I'm not complaining.
They've really changed.
I'm just saying they've changed quite a bit.
They've changed, but they've changed for the better. Well, not for the better, because that means they were bad. It's more of they've changed in a way.
They went more from being like a really heavy band that at times felt like it was heavy, but didn't have a sense of direction.
But now
they have more groovy, but with a sense of direction.
They're groovy, and they have controlled heaviness with some melodies pushed in there. But yes, a sense of direction is there.
And also from a Finnish standpoint, a little bit more radio friendly, I would say.
Oh yeah.
More radio friendly. Now, I want to say something about this song overall, and I want to see what you're saying about it, which is some pockets of this track, not vocally as well. Okay, I'm going to go there. Vocally as well, but perhaps a little bit more on the guitar sound, the tuning, and the execution itself. Some massive Machine Head vibes.
You know, I'm
not saying from beginning to end the song sounds like Machine Head, but there are certain moments that if I was to play you that riff and I would say, guess that riff, you would say to me, I don't know the song, but I bet you it's Machine Head. Like there was a little bit of Machine Head.
I can agree with you. Yeah.
Like that grooviness.
The grooviness and it's the. Like I said, the controlled heaviness, but with the grooviness itself, yeah, I can agree with you. It has some elements of some Machine Head in there, and you are right. If someone played that for me, I would definitely think it's a groovier band like Machine Head.
And vocally in the chorus also had a little bit of a Machine Head vibe, specifically when he starts off sometimes screaming into the.
I would say it's the ones that are less like harsh vocals and more like his deep scream vocals.
Yes,
those ones are definitely more Machine Head.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, of course not.
It's not a bad thing. But I'm just like...
You compare because then you want to find the...
It's normal. Whenever you listen to something...
You have to compare, but I feel like comparing is also a way
It's not comparing one that's better than the other. No, it's just saying this reminded me of something.
This reminded me of this, but when you compare, I feel like you're also comparing stuff that are similar, but you're ousting stuff that have a uniqueness to them. So you're able to find how much of this song is really unique compared to other songs.
The issue to me is that I'm not quite sure. With every record, their sound has changed. So at this point in time, I'm not quite sure what's their sound.
But maybe they don't know either. Maybe they're just trying to find their sound, but...
Like, after, like, how many records now? Like, you still looking for your sound? I mean, bands evolve, bands change. I totally get it.
I feel like sound changes over time. It doesn't matter when you make the album. Maybe during that time...
Well, that record, that is your sound at that time.
But what I'm saying, maybe that time you were really into this sound, so you incorporated it into your album. Or this year you heard an album that really had a good sound that you wanted to incorporate into a new album. But to do sometimes you have to change up a little bit.
I know, but sometimes you even probably do that without even thinking. Like, if I was listening, if I'm a musician and I'm listening to a certain sound all the time, I mean, it's almost impossible for that not to influence the music that I'm going to create.
What I'm saying is they most likely know it. I feel like what they've done is, their albums at the start were more what they wanted to do, what they heard. It was what was their influence at the time. Then, as their sound changes, probably because they hear a song, whatever it is here, that gives them, I should put this in the album, but I can't do it in what I'm already doing because it won't fit, so let me change it up a little bit, still have some elements of my old stuff, but some new stuff to really grandfather in the stuff I want to add. So your sound is going to change. You're not going to
make two records that sound exactly the same.
Or have the same style. You need to change.
It can be the same ballpark.
But it has to have some DNA to link it all together. You need something to link it all together, which I think they do have.
I agree.
They do have that thing that links it all together with a change of sound.
But there's quite a few bands that have gone through this progression.
Yeah.
Like, I can think of three right now, off the bat. I think about these guys. I think about Blood Red Hourglass. If you look at their debut album, you look at their music now, it's not quite the same. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just
and like I said, they have the lines that connect each other, but they still have some differences.
And even the boys from Atlas, If you go listen to
Oh,
some of their...
fuck yeah. Dude,
their first material was like... They were going through an exorcism. It was just heavy for the sake of being heavy and brutal. It had no direction whatsoever.
not have more direction.
And purpose. Like, you could see the path that the song... So maybe there's also a little bit of growth as musicians.
Yeah.
As
songwriters,
but as songwriters. And as songwriters, you evolve too. You start to become a little bit more polished in your craft. And
After it's kind of like us. After, 6 years of sitting here and doing reaction videos, I feel like now we've really become scholars in a way of
Dude, we just talked about fucking shits.
I don't care.
For like 5 minutes.
When it comes to music, though, I think when it comes to, especially metal music, but music in general, when you intake so much music, or in so much of anything, you'll become a master at it at one point. Maybe not in creating it, but in dissecting
at least in analyzing it.
Right?
It's funny that you say that, because when we started the channel, and we would check out a song from like Children of Bodom or
We'd
more
say we
Subita,
liked it. I like this guitar.
No. I'm talking about the people that comment in the videos.
Oh.
So like we would check out a song from these guys or more Children of Bodom, whatever. Dark Tranquility, something a little bit more recent.
Yeah.
And people would be like, that song is not as good as this. People sometimes were really jaded, right? And I would be like, fuck, that song was amazing. How the fuck are you so jaded towards this song when the song sounds amazing? And now I'm that person.
But now you have to.
But just realize that if you listen to a band or a genre or music in general
for a long period
of time, and you listen a lot, you start to become a little bit jaded towards it, and your level of expectations rise.
It's not just a lot, because you can listen to music you like for so long out of a time, but it's because we intake so much new music.
That's true too.
You're always refreshing.
We also have grown with the channel, so
yeah, but we're always refreshing. So I feel like someone who listens to the same artist or the same 3 artists and gets album after album of those artists, yeah, you're listening to a lot of music, but you're not listening to a lot of music. There's still a lot of music out there. That's why I listen to so much. I listen to metal, I listen to indie rock, I listen to like Brazilian funk. I listen to everything, because when you listen to everything, when I listen to a song on the channel that reminds me of a different genre, I can pinpoint it out and say it.
And maybe appreciate it a little bit more.
And then I appreciate it a little bit more. I think opening your mind to that much music not only makes you smarter when it comes to music, but I think it makes you appreciate music a lot
I think
more.
It's like food. If you just eat one kind of food all the time, I think then your palate is a little bit limited to
There's a reason why the people who own restaurants and own, I'm talking about there's a guy named Mike Chen on YouTube. I love his shit. He owns like restaurants around the world, but he also eats a lot of different foods. And the reason, and I kind of attribute them to themselves. I mean, to own a restaurant, I feel like you should be well versed in food. Like, you shouldn't back down from anything unless you've tried it and you don't like it. But this guy eats anything. So like, I can have more respect for him as not only a content creator on YouTube, but more respect for him as someone who a restaurateur, someone who owns a restaurant, someone who does that for their business.
Fair enough. I agree with you 100%. Listen, I like the song. I think this is a great track. I like this sound, this more groove driven sound. I like it. I feel like it might fit them better with the vocal style that they have, with the overall approach. We still get some quality solos from Mika on there, so I like this more machine head style. I also like that almost like electronic robotic voice.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice built up and then moving into the regular vocals. So this is a good single from More Subita for sure. It's just like when I was listening to this song, it was impossible for me not to remember the earlier stuff and see how far apart the two are. There's still some breadcrumbs that obviously connects them, but they're really far apart. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles and the way they move as artists. That's all. I'm just pointing it out. I'm not hating. I'm just pointing it out. All right. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. On that note, guys, see you all at the next one.
See ya.